Good morning YouTube, and welcome back to another pickups video. It is actually car boot related, but I didn't make a car boot pickups video last week and the car boot wasn't on this week because in all honesty I was pretty annoyed with myself with the money I spent on what I picked up, but without further ado I shall reveal why. So just before I start, you'll probably see in the background I've got my Sega Saturn working. My SCART lead hasn't come yet, but I've managed to pick up an RF lead. And I actually had an RF box for it. Stupidly, I didn't realise that just an ordinary RF lead fit in the back and I could actually play on it. So I'm quite impressed for RF. I mean, it is a little bit blurry, but the colour and the quality, I mean, it's playable. I'm quite amazed now because this TV or just the output of that system. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, when I originally had one, I used to play with RF because that was the input my TV had. I did play it with SCART downstairs at my parents' house once, and I was blown away. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully I'll get that next week. But yeah, anyway, back to the car boot sale, rather than me keep meandering on. So, the first thing I picked up was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was Ready to Rumble Boxing, which shamefully I've still not played. A week later, still not played it. I do remember playing this actually on the Dreamcast, and it was a really fun game, so I'm looking forward to sticking it on. And this was £1, so you can't really say no, because it's absolutely mint condition. Even when I picked it up, the guy said, "Oh, it's not really been played." So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll stick that there. Now the next thing, and this kind of annoyed me because my market trader friend was there and he was selling all his scratch games, and he had one of these systems on his table, and I asked him how much it was and he said, "Oh, it don't work." And I said, "Oh, all right, fair enough." Like, so I knew there was a problem with them because I know Pete's Nestastic, he's had an issue with one of these, which might give it away. But anyway, further on up the road, I found someone else selling one. I asked him if it worked, and he said, "Oh yeah, I was playing it last night, it works perfectly." So it was a Sega Game Gear, obviously. It came with 6 games, a cigarette lighter adapter so I can play it in my van, and a wall charger, which is absolutely essential because these things eat batteries. So it's going to need capacitors changing. I know that's £12 on eBay. I'm not in any rush to sort it out, but I will sort it out in the future because it is quite a cool handheld, I suppose, as far as video game history goes, and I've got a Game Boy, so why not? Here's the said power charger, which interestingly enough has got a switch between 6 volt and 9 volt there, which I've not seen before, but fair enough, could be useful elsewhere. It also came with the car charger, or you know, power it up with the car, whatever you like, which was interesting, and it came with 6 games. So the first one was Donald Duck. It's a Lucky Dime Caper. I might have to do that. Or just throw it everywhere instead, perhaps. Yeah. Donald Duck, Lucky Dime Caper. But loads of people saying I knew that was going to happen. I should have known better, really. Mickey Mouse, Cast of Illusion, which is awesome on the Mega Drive. I know the Master System version is pretty good, so I should imagine the Game Gear version is probably a port of that. Lemmings, which you can never go wrong with. Columns. Alien 3, which I actually had for the Mega Drive, but the cartridge didn't work, so maybe I'll get a chance to play it on the Game Gear instead. And an absolute classic, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So that was that. Now this is probably this is really to do with this purchase and the next thing I'm going to show you. Is I seem to get involved in these verbal contracts without realising it. Car boot sales. I asked the guy how much he wanted for his Game Gear, and he said 15 quid, and I just instantly said, "Oh, would you take a tenner?" And he said, "Yeah, I want to get it out of the way." So then, without even knowing, I've ended up buying it. So I'm kind of annoyed it doesn't work, but it can be sorted in the end, and you know it's probably fairly decent. So again, the same thing happened again. Someone had one of these consoles for sale. Last time I was the one instead of £5. I said, "Would it take £2?" They said, "Yeah." So again, another verbal agreement. Ends up buying a Nintendo 64. I've got no interest in keeping this really, but for the price, I'm probably just going to put it away. Maybe I'll have some interest in it one day. And I know Wipeout 64 is pretty cool. It actually came with the expansion pack, which I presume is what's in there. And yeah, it's in pretty decent condition, in all honesty. The thing that well, drew me to it really was when I looked in there, it's just so clean. Like, a lot of the time on these Nintendo consoles, that's not shiny anymore. And you know, just from cartridges going in and out. But to me, this just looks like it's not really been used. It only came with the RF lead in the power pack. But what made me really laugh, I mean obviously a lot of people already know about this, but I think this is really cool, you know, I think it just like slots in. Like Transformers, you know. It's just pretty cool. So yeah, I'll probably keep hold of it for now, who knows. But yeah, a Nintendo 64. So that was it, everything from the car boot sale. And I've picked up a few more things. It's actually off someone from eBay. Not eBay, someone on YouTube who I'm actually friends with. I sort of asked them if it was alright to mention them, but they never really got back to me in that respect, and I don't suppose they're really that bothered, but either way, if they are, I'll put a link in the description below or something like that. But basically they contacted me and said they had some Japanese Saturn games, was interested in any of them, and indeed I was. So first thing I picked up, which I was definitely going to need to play Japanese Saturn games, was this Action Replay Plus, which it also works as a 1 meg and 4 meg expansion, so you can play the 2D fighting games, one of which I've actually got en route at the moment, or coming early next week. So yeah, in absolutely astounding condition, pretty much like new in all honesty. There's the cartridge there, and there's the instructions there. So not a lot else to say about that, but stick that in your Saturn and it'll let you play Japanese games, which is nice. Still plays them in 50 Hz, but I'll probably have to get 60 Hz sorted on this machine at some point, because it's a bit of a bummer missing the screen. I do notice that on these older consoles you lose a lot of the screen, but then on things like PlayStation 2 you only seem to lose like, you know, 5 mil all the way around. It's not that big a loss. So anyway, I picked up the Action Replay Pro and actually decided to have 4 of his games. Now the first one, and I've had all of these games before in the past when I used to own a Saturn, was Nights into Dreams. I have stuck this on briefly and basically just watched it being played. It still looks good, perhaps not as good as I remembered, but still I'm glad I picked it up. Absolutely lovely condition, all of these games are. The discs are absolutely mint, you know, they've not got a mark on them, so that's excellent. It's the good thing about buying things off people on YouTube. Generally, because of collectors, you know, everything's in really nice condition, which is something you can't guarantee when you're dealing with people on eBay. So the next one, and what made me laugh about this was when I received this package, I come straight in, and this is the first game I stuck on, played it for like half an hour. I come on YouTube, there was someone who posted a video saying that Daytona USA had come out for Xbox Live Arcade, so I went straight onto my Xbox and downloaded it, and I played it quite a bit on there, but here it is for the Sega Saturn. Really good conversion if you ask me, especially in retrospect looking back. Great little game, I love it, you know, I don't think you could beat it. I think it's absolutely amazing arcade game, and at the time when you could experience this at home, it was just fantastic. So this actually comes with a spine card. Now before buying these games I've never seen spine cards, not in the flesh. I'd seen them on people's videos, but I never really took much notice. But I don't, if anybody else, I mean I'm probably on my own, if anybody else didn't know, basically when you used to buy these games in Japan, they used to come with this spine card on the outside, you know, inside of the shrink wrap, and I suppose why they're so collectible is people just used to throw them away and just get on with playing the game, probably light up a cigarette or whatever else. And so now games seem to fetch a bit of a higher price if they've got the spine cards. Not something I'm really anal about or anything like that, but it's nice to have them, and 3 out of these 4 games have got them. So the next game was another classic racing game. Absolutely love this one, probably my favourite ever. It was Sega Rally. It was just amazing. We had 4 machines linked up at the old arcades. It was fantastic. So this is a really solid conversion from what I can remember. And again, like Daytona, being able to play this at home, especially, it was only like a couple of years after it'd been out in the arcade, you know, it was pretty astounding. So again, it comes with a spine card, and shockingly, just like ready to unbox it, I've not even put this one on yet, but I will do that this afternoon, definitely. And the last one, which I've put on, and at the time this was mind-blowing, was Virtua Fighter 2. I've mentioned this game a few times in the past because basically my friend used to have Tekken 2, and he was like, you've got to come round and play Tekken 2, it's like the best fighting game ever. I went round there and I was like, no way, you've got to come round mine and play Virtua Fighter 2. I was like, it's 3D, this Tekken 2 is not 3D. This, at the time, was absolutely astounding. It was such a step up from Virtual Fighter. Pretty much the same way that you know, Virtual Race, Daytona was a massive step up from Virtual Racing. You know, all of a sudden they weren't just like flat shaded polygons; they actually had textures on them. So you know, it looked fantastic. But a really good fighting game, this. And this probably, I would say, as far as I know, this is probably the most solid arcade conversion on the Saturn. But absolutely fantastic fighter, runs really well, still plays good today. So that's it really, that's all the things I've picked up over the last week. I know I've got a few more things incoming, so there will be another pickups video from me in the next week or so. And until then, have fun, and I shall see you soon. Thank you for watching.